Hey guys, welcome back to Frosty Does It. I'm Frosty, and today we're going to upgrade our 2012 F550 a little bit. Let me show you the truck. So this is my 2012 F550. It is four-wheel drive, and the reason I bought this truck specifically is I wanted an 11-foot bed, I wanted a crew cab, power locks, power windows. The front and the rear diff have 410 gears, which is very, very hard to come by in an F550 or even an F450. They normally come with 488s, sometimes 430s, and then the 410s were special order, but this truck has 410s. I searched forever for this thing, and I found it in Iowa. When I got it, it had just a beat up black bumper, so I found a F250, F350 bumper and found that on Marketplace, installed that. Had to drill holes in the side of the bumper for the F550 flare. I added a fog light harness already to it and fog lights. This is a work truck, so it's been well used and abused. This passenger door is dented and gouged. The flatbed needs a whole lot of work. We'll probably work on that in a different episode. But today I've got some new OEM Ford headlights that are perfect. These are scratched and kind of scuffed up, so I'll probably take these off and put them on Marketplace. The grill's in nice shape, but it's black. It does have the strobes in the sides, which I do like, but I bought a chrome Ford grill off of Marketplace, and then this lens is pretty nice too, but they're a little hazy. It doesn't show up on camera too well, but they're starting to get a little hazy, so replace the headlights, the grill, passenger door. And then I've got a new set of, well, new to used, new to me, but well used. This is the stock bench in the back. It does fold down and flip up, but there's no center console here that would normally flip down. So I picked up a rear bench out of an XLT, same fabric. Here you can see the rear seats we're going to swap in. There's the new door. Picked that up. And we'll put that on. And I also picked up a passenger front seat. I'm not sure what ours looks like. We'll take the seat cover off and take a look at it. And then here is the grill that we'll be putting on it. And also scored some chrome tow hooks. This one has black tow hooks, and it only has one of them. Got the black on the passenger side. And you can see here that somebody must have been tugging on it pretty hard because that one broke clean off. So we're going to go ahead and install those as well. First thing we're going to do is pull off the grill. I already started doing this, but it's pretty easy. You just have 4 10mm bolts. One here, one here, one here, and then one down here. And that pops the whole front off. And the grill folds down. And they have these little tabs you can see down here. You just push on the little edge of them with a screwdriver and then pull out on the grill, and the whole thing will pop out. A lot of guys just try to yank them and they'll break the tabs. For the strobes, this is a little pigtail I use when I just want to terminate like a power wire. You know, it just goes over the top, you crimp it on. I use these a lot in car stereos too if I'm doing an aftermarket deck. I'm going to strip this just a little bit so we've got some room to crimp onto. It's pretty cold here. It's like 34 degrees right now in Wisconsin, which is actually very warm for November. So I'm very happy to be outside working. We gotta go squeeze. There we go. You can tuck that away in there for another day. Next we'll pull the headlights out. It should have 4 bolts each. We got one right up here, 10mm. Got 2 here, and then down here underneath, right there should be another one. Mine's missing. Let's buzz out the 3 that I have left. One of the things I like about these trucks is Ford trucks to me are like Legos when I was a kid. You could build anything you wanted out of all the Legos. You had all these different parts you could interchange. The Ford trucks are kind of the same way, especially if you start with the PEASANT model, the XL model, because there's nowhere to go but up. You can add on all these cool things like bumpers, grills, remote start, fog lights, cushy interior. One of the reasons I really enjoy working on these is I usually buy the basic trucks. They're a lot cheaper, and I don't need a lot of the fancy bells and whistles. And as I run into something that I really need, I'll upgrade it. For example, I put a remote start on this truck for $30. I got an antenna off of eBay, and I bought a key fob off eBay. And I already had ForeScan, the software to turn it on the computer. And you add remote start to any of these Super Duties for like 30 bucks if you're resourceful. And you have to have the hood switch too. Most trucks come with those, but if you don't have the hood switch, you need that for the remote start to work. All right, then there should be a clip somewhere in here that kind of holds it in. You just pull the headlight out. And then I have some aftermarket LED lights that I'm going to put in as well from Auxito. They did send them to me for free, and I have not tried them out yet. I've never used an Auxito product before, so we're going to unbox those. See the difference when it's dark between the stock OEM bulb headlight setup and then just the addition of the LEDs. And they also sent me turn marker lights, which are LEDs, but they have the built-in resistor so they don't hyper flash. So I'm pretty excited to see the driving or the night and day difference between the LEDs and the OEM bulbs, and then the LED lights I think should be a nice addition. So I'll give you a fair feedback on how those work and if they're worth the money, and I like to see it at night. So let's get this unplugged and get the new one in. Turn signal. My plug for the headlight is broken. It just comes right off. And then the socket for the running light. And that's it. Your headlight comes right out. I'll go ahead and zip the other side out quick. Wow, this one's missing both bolts. You can see how faded or filmed over these are. And that one's got a big old gouge in it. All right, these are the Auxito bulbs I was talking about. These are the LED flashers for your turn signals and running lights that have built-in resistors so they don't hyper flash. They sure look fancy. We got some weight to them. They've got a nice heat sink. I don't know if that's focus. That spins. I don't know if that's a fan or if it heats up and then that spins based off like the heat change. That's a pretty cool little bulb. I'm excited to put those in. Well, that's the turn and running light. Comes with some gloves. I assume you're not supposed to touch the bulbs. Ooh. Oh, these fancy guys. I see 2 LEDs on each side. Nothing in the front. So it all must work off just reflecting out of the lens. And it looks like it has the same plug as my stock bulb. Let's go ahead and throw these in. I'm excited to see the difference. Okay, we've got our new Auxito bulbs, headlights, and turn and running lights. I'll start with running light. That should just pull out. And that is a 3157 NA, which comes stock. And that plug sure is browned out like it got super hot. So you know that these things pull a lot of amps if the plug's getting that brown. take one of the new ones. It should just plug right in. There we go. And these little lights too, I think I'll replace these while I have them out. They're the little marker lights for the side. I don't recall mine working, so I'm going to replace those two. Alright, I believe these are called 194 bulbs for your marker lights. I always test these before I put them in on a battery to make sure that they work. A lot of times they don't. They'll look good and the filament will be broken, so I always test them before I throw them in. Now this is the stock that I took out of the other headlight. It's a H13 bulb. And then that's the replacement. And it appears to go in the same way as the old one came out. This is my new Ford OEM housing. Scored those off Facebook Marketplace. Should only go in one way, the way the tabs are designed. Just rotate it till it pops in. There we go. Give her a good twist. And she's installed. The plug fit the bulb perfect. Plugged right in. Alright, there's just a quick video shot of the LEDs all installed. These are LEDs, the fog lights. I did not get those from Auxito. I'm not even sure what brand they are. But this is extremely bright even during the day. Pretty excited to see what it looks like at night. First impressions, really good. And that's what they look like with the flashers turned off or the blinkers off. They're blindingly bright to my eyeballs. I don't know what it looks like to your eyeballs, but mine are like, woo! Those high beams are bright. They're like looking right at the sun. Alright, several hours have passed. It is now very, very dark out, and it's time to test out these Auxito headlights and running lights. So, first click here is going to be just the running lights. Wow. That is just running lights. That's not even headlights yet. Oh, that's crazy. All right, here comes low beams. Holy smokes. That is wild bright. Now here's high beams. Back to low beams. I'll click on the fog lights just for the sake, see if that does anything. That really fills it in nice. So fog lights on, fog lights off. Those are LED lights, but those are a brand I don't even know what they are. But these Auxito low beams are crazy bright. Here's the high beam one more time. And that's low beam. So I have the truck I installed the Auxito lights into that I'm in now, and then next to me I have my other F550, and that one has just the stock incandescent or whatever bulbs come in it, stock, just the old style filament bulb. So I'm gonna go jump in that one and turn those on and see how it looks. Okay, we're in the other F550. The one we just looked at is over here to my right. We're gonna turn on just running lights. I can see the cab lights on my hood, but I can't see any running lights whatsoever. Here is low beam. And then here is high beam. Those work pretty good too. It actually looks pretty solid in the camera. low beam, high beam. But the yellow, the light is very yellowish. It actually looks way better on camera than it does in person. But the stocks actually don't look too bad. Now what I'm going to do is go turn on the other truck at the same time and see which one's brighter. Okay, back into the upgraded LED truck. Running lights coming on. There you see they just turned on. Now here's headlights. Oh yeah, those are way, way brighter. And now the high beams. I feel bad for my neighbor. They're not gonna like me flashing their house so much. They must not be home though. All right, let's get out and take a look at the front of the trucks. Okay, this is the F550 with the standard headlights and running lights. And this is the F550 with the upgraded Auxito running lights, low beams, high beams. And it is crazy different. Now this truck is the standard lights and it's got the orange on top and the standard bulbs on the bottom. The Auxito company sent me running lights, and they do change orange when you do like the blinker or the flashers, but right now they're white on top. But what a difference. Well, what are my thoughts on the Auxito LED lights? They are impressively bright. Night and day difference between the standard bulbs, the filament style, and then the LEDs are, I mean, it's not even a comparison. The stock ones weren't too bad. They surprised me how bright they were, but these LEDs are a different world. So if you want some upgrades for your car or truck, Auxito, you've got my stamp of approval. I'll have a discount code of 15%. I'll leave in the description of the video. If you're interested in buying a set, you get 15% off. All right, next thing on the list is we'll pull off this bumper and we'll change out the two tow hooks. There's one broken and there's a black one. We're gonna change them out for chrome. Now there's 4 more bolts left and they are 18 millimeters. All right, we got our bumper off. I've had it off a bunch of times, so nothing was really that tight. Then you've got your tow hook bolts. You've got 3. Looks like we're missing one on this side, so we'll have to find one of those bolts somewhere. But let's pull these off. These 3 bolts are 15 millimeters. old Milwaukee's got too much power, I guess. Two of the three broke. Sometimes that's good, makes it easier, but I actually wanted to reuse those bolts, so that's not one of those times. I see a trip to the hardware store in my future. Alright, I went to the hardware store, aka the garage hoard, and I found a bunch of bolts that are right thread pitch and size. They're a little shorter, but that's fine with me. That will totally engage the nut here still, so I don't need this pilot part at all. So I've got 3 long ones and 3 shorter ones, and that should do the trick. We're going to put some anti-seize on these, because if they're breaking off on the old ones, you can tell that they're getting corroded inside of there from water, dirt, whatever sitting down in there. So I don't want them to break off in the new ones. So here's the new tow hooks. Got these off Facebook Marketplace. These are super expensive if you buy them new, or if you buy them on eBay, they're like almost 250 or 300 bucks for a pair. I got these for $50 plus shipping, so it was like 64 bucks. Sometimes I use grease instead of anti-seize. This is what I had, so this one I use. And we'll torque these to spec. Tow hooks are done. Alright, here I'm trying to fit up the bumper on my own. This is definitely a lot easier if you were to have a second person help you hold everything up. I'm holding it up with my knee and just trying to get one bolt started so I can get it hung, and then I'll move over to the other side. When you get all your bolts started, don't tighten them. Just make sure that you get them all started and they're kind of loose. Then you can go left or right with your bumper. You can go up or down with your bumper, and you can pitch it in and pitch it out. Let's go grab our chrome grill. Okay, I got all worried for a second, because as you can see, these don't line up with that, not even close. But I'm just missing the piece that goes between here and here, which is still on my old one. This is that old grill. These are what have to come out. There should be like 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they all are like a push type pin. Then you've got one bolt, it looks like. This is the tool I use. It's like a door panel tool. I put a link in the description, or something for you to click on. I use this all the time for door panels, all these plastic fasteners these days that you got to separate in 2 pieces. You can see you have to pry under here, and you lift this up, and then it unspreads these fingers, or a little post comes out of it, and it allows the fingers to compress, and you can take this out. That whole piece comes off. Why Ford put 5 of these and 1 bolt in there, I do not know. Wow, those are hard to push in. Oh, gotta make sure they're all the way in. They're not completely seated before you push. They're not going. Oh. Okay, we got them all. Put our 4 bolts in that hold this to the radiator support. And we have 1 installed grill. I gotta say, that looks a lot better. I'll do before and after. What do you guys think of the air dam? Let me know in the comments if you like it, if you don't like it, if you took yours off, if you left it on. This is a 4-wheel drive air dam, so it comes down a lot farther. The 2-wheel drive one is maybe half that height, or 2/3 that height. A lot of guys will put that 2-wheel drive on their 4-wheel drive truck. But let me know in the comments what you would do with it. Now I gotta run the fog light harness up in there, plug that in. And then there's this little rubber tray here too that I gotta hook up. But overall, it was a pretty easy job. It would probably have taken me, I don't know, half hour if I wasn't recording. Let's see what else we can move on to. Let's take a look at the passenger seat once you see what shape that's in. Well, here's that passenger door. It's actually a rust-free door. Just got the big old gash there and big old dent down in here. So we'll take the door panel off this and the strip down here, and then we'll swap doors out. Looks pretty easy. You just have this one plug here, and then you've got some bolts, obviously, but that looks like it'll come off fairly easy. But this is a work truck. It has seat covers on it, which helped it a little bit. It does have some wear there. I do have a brand new seat cover for this. But I think I'm just going to swap out this seat completely. I have another truck that I'm going to be selling that has a ripped seat too that's quite a bit more ripped than that. And maybe I can resell that seat cover, make some money back. It's a brand new Ford. It was not cheap. But the overall condition of your seat's really a make or break your truck, especially if you're in it every day and you're trying to enjoy it. If you're getting into a ripped, worn out seat, that sucks. Or if you're trying to sell a truck, it's kind of one of the first things I look at is what shape the interior is. You can get thousands of dollars more for a pickup truck if the seats are nice. You can see this cushion on the other side. I replaced the cushion. And I replaced the cover. And it just like makes a huge difference on first impressions. So I think I'm going to take this seat out, and then we'll put in the other seat that I've got in the garage. There's a better look at it with the seat cover completely removed. The headrest is a little nasty. That'll clean up though. The back is pretty nice on it. This really isn't too bad, but My wife's gonna be sitting over here, so I want a seat that's as newish as possible. Then here's the seat I got from the junkyard. It was $110. They had another one exactly like it that was $75, but it was so faded from sitting out in the sun that it actually looked purple. This one's got the compartment behind it. My seat does not have that. All this stuff is just those little floaty things that fly around in the air, little fuzz, little seeds from trees. But this seat has no wear whatsoever. It's got some dirt on it, but that'll all clean up. So these are easy to swap. It's just 4 21mm bolts. On impact, you can have the seat in and out in 5 minutes. Alright, if your truck still has these caps, you just pop these off with a screwdriver. And you can get your 21mm. Fits on there perfect. Get your impact gun, zip them out. And you just slide your seat forward. And you gotta pop those caps off. Incline this thing forward or lean it forward. Just a little bit more room. And you do have to disconnect your airbag. And you got your airbag connector here. Your truck might have heated or cooled seats. Mine is an XL model, or whatever one online calls the PEASANT model. Push that tab down and this moves a little bit, and you just push it all the way. It's on a cam. And it should just pop out. Okay, there you go. Then your seat's ready to come out. I'll probably get a vacuum and suck that junk up real quick. And then we'll throw the new seat in. Never throw away the money. Do have a back seat for this too. Probably pull this out while I have the vacuum out. Not sure how that comes out of there. There's no button to figure that out. Probably be easier to get to with a shallow socket, but I brought a deep socket, so that's what we're using. Then there's one way back in the corner. I'll save you the boredom of watching that. Alright, we've got our two bolts out. Let me figure out how this fake seatbelt comes out. Alright, if you guys are ever trying to get this weird seatbelt off, you just take the cover off, and then there's the red button under it. These are incredibly heavy. Alright, we got our seat out. Looks like I have some more vacuuming to do. Normally I find some type of treasures in trucks or cars when I buy them and go through them. This truck's had absolutely nothing but a couple of coins and a bunch of dirt. No evidence of good times or anything. We'll get this one put in. It's got the flip down center console with cup holders. I like that style more. As my daughter gets older, she can use the cup holders when we go on camping trips. This one doesn't have it, so on the marketplace you go. I think in my Ford parts hoard, I think I have like a flip over rear cargo area that used to store under the seat, and I think it came from like a 6 liter or 6.4 liter generation F550. I think I'm gonna go see if maybe that'll bolt up on that seat instead of using these. Let's go check it out. All right, this is the piece I was referring to. It unfolds and it gives you a flat floor. And they put these in the older trucks. I don't know why they stopped putting them in the newer trucks, but it has the bolt holes. Looks like in all the same spots. So I'm gonna try to use that. I like that more anyhow. Look at that, it almost looks like it was made right for it. Things are so cool. I don't know why they stopped putting those in the Fords. I mean, that lines up perfect. They must not have changed those seat pans, seat brackets quite a while. Joe, look at that. All 6 line up. I am digging that. The seat I just put in here has one more bolting location that mine did not have. I wonder if I got a hole through the truck for that. Probably do. Looks like there is a boss for it. Yep. I bet you I have one of those in the hoard. Okay, just a little thing here. I made a hole for that, but it's not threaded. There is a boss underneath the cab, so I just have to thread it with the right thread pitch for the bolts. And then I'll do that a different day. I'm running out of time. I got to kind of clean up tonight. My wife and I have date night going out for sushi, so I got to clean up and then we'll resume this again tomorrow. All right, guys, we got quite a bit done yesterday. We swapped the rear bench, the front seat on the passenger side, the headlights, the grill, took the bumper off, put on chrome tow hooks instead of the black one that was here and the broken one that was here. So the next thing on the agenda is going to be running boards and the door. If we get time, we'll do the door. Never showed you the installed seat. The seat's installed. That's just sunlight. That looks nice. So the XLT trucks, they've got adjustable headrests. You can put them at any angle you want. It's pretty cool. The XL seat does not. It just goes up and down. This one goes up and down and forwards and backwards. Never noticed that before. That's kind of a cool little change, but we're gonna do running boards first. I picked these up off, guess where? Facebook Marketplace. I've been kind of scrounging up hardware to put these on, But let's get these mocked up and then we'll throw them on and see what it looks like. You know, a lot of guys take off running boards, and I'm the guy that wants the running boards. My wife and I just think it's a lot easier to get in and out. And one of the main reasons you have a running board, when you get in and out of your truck, you don't put so much wear on the side bolster. That's what always wears out, and it's because people are just sliding off the seat. Where if you have a running board to step on, it keeps your seats nice. And it's easier to get in and out. These are crew cab running boards. They have 3 mounting brackets per running board. And they use these are probably M6s, M6 to bolt from the bottom portion of your bracket to the running board, and they use the M8 for the top of the bracket to the pinch weld on the cab. And I had quite a bit in my hoard, but I didn't have enough, so I had to go to the hardware store. I had to buy 9 bolts, which were $2 a piece, and I had to buy 18 of these. I don't know if they're called U-clips or speed clips, but these were almost like $1.50 each, so almost had over $40 in just hardware. It was like 45 bucks just to put running boards on, and that's with me having lots of hardware already. It's unbelievable what stuff's costing these days. These running boards, I don't know, I think I paid $100 for the set. Let's go ahead and assemble these and get them put on. Shout out to my dad. He went and picked these up for me, and they were all dirty and filled with mud and dirt, and he took them all apart for me and cleaned them out, and he also labeled every single bracket that came off and what spot it was in. So thanks to you, Dad. Appreciate it. Alright, that went super easy. My dad labeled them, so I knew which bracket went where and what position. I thought that was really thoughtful of him. See what it looks like. Oh, I like it. Looks more and more like a grandpa truck. Okay, those running boards are done. Show you the other side. Now that door is an eyesore, so I'm going to pull the truck out and pull that door off and get the new one on there. Really want to change out the wheels. I just don't know if I'm going to have time today to do it. We'll see how far we get with this door and how long it takes. All right, this shouldn't be too bad. Wow, that was easy. Harbor Freight motorcycle jack. Big chunk of wood. Put that under the door. Put a tiny little pressure up on it. All right, might as well take this door panel off before we take the door off. There's a little panel that pops off here. Two screws. And there's a couple, one there and one there at the bottom. And we got them both off without breaking them. Win. I noticed this door panel, I think, is the door that I just bought is an XLT door. And this is the XLT switch, and it has an auto window down. And this poor man's edition does not. So we'll see if we can't switch that too and maybe get an auto down on the passenger side. Oh, different plugs. That's crazy. I can't believe the plugs are different. Guess we'll keep the poor man's switch. And you just lift the panel off. But you know what? I'm changing doors. So I bet you the other door does not have this plug. I bet you it has the auto down plug. Might get lucky there. All right, then we need to find our mirror harness. I'm guessing this is it. Push that through. Okay, that was the harness. Now back to the door jamb. Oh, I think I'm gonna go get the appropriate tool. That is not it. That should work better. Jeez, Ford, you gotta thread these bolts in like 2.5 inches or what? Jeepers creepers. Even though it is a door that's got a big old dent in it, I don't want to drop it. That was fairly easy. Let's take a look at our plugs. Plugs look the same. This is the new door. Man, they are heavy. Plug went right in. So far, so good. What I really want to do is see if the window and locks work before I put it all together. So plug that in. Locks work. Window up and down does not work. Unless I have the window lock on the driver's side clicked. Let's hope I do. Shoot. That's gonna be a problem. Well guys, the door is on, the window does not work. The check engine light is on, so I'm sure there's something up with the wiring that's different between the two doors. I'm shocked that it wouldn't just work. I mean, all that's different is the switch. But I'll have to look and see if I just need to swap the wiring harness over or what. But I'm gonna turn the camera off here and get the door aligned so I can close it. And then probably have to make another video of changing the wheels out for the aluminum wheels. And then we'll figure out maybe another video how to get that window to work. Thanks again for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please do. Lots more content on these F550s and Fords going forward. Like the video if you could, and leave me some comments if you do anything differently than I did. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, for those of you that stuck around, thank you. You get to see a extra little bit that nobody else does. This is the old door. It's got 2 wires for the electric motor, which is right here. 2 for the speaker, very basic harness. We come over to the XLT door, 2 wires for the speaker, and a whole mess of wires for the window motor. So I'm gonna have to switch everything inside the door from the old one to the new one, and it's throwing a check engine light, and then it says it's negative 40 degrees outside now, which is kind of weird. Where it worked perfect before. It's another thing to overcome. We'll get it.